Hey everybody, Kent Stones, and believe it or not, this is take 3. So if you have been seeing these live videos start for the previous few times, I keep getting some failures, so I've tried a different location. Hopefully this will be better. But anyway, coming to you for Fake Not this Friday. Hope you're all going to have a great 3-day weekend. Broadcasted earlier from stonesinsight.com, where we talked about some research perspectives. Fake Not is our sister site where we're really focused on trust, and the idea that trust is basically made up of 3 components based on Henry Rotter's model of trust. Competency, integrity, and intention. And I'm going to talk about those in just a little bit more. But so wanted to share 3 really awesome conversations that I had this week. Quick shout out, Jan Eric Anderson of Callahan Creek. We had a really fantastic conversation around the whole idea of the current state of anxiety that many people are finding themselves in. What's causing that? What are some of the cultural systems that are influencing that? We talked about how that leads to a way that we try and simplify things by joining systems and subscriptions and all that kind of stuff. And then just some great commentary around the whole idea of what sustainability actually means. So great conversation. I think it's going to be some really cool work that they develop as a result of that. So second conversation was with the founder of Rumble Now, Terry Foudry, and just we had a really cool conversation about how she is integrating data around the Internet of Things, all the devices that kick off data around the Internet of Things. Her company is all focused on establishing how to standardize, integrate, and then analyze data that's kicked off from all these different devices that are going to exist now. So some really cool work there being done. Go out and check out rumblenow.com if you get a chance. They've got some really good white papers out there, and they're doing some great work. The third conversation I had that I wanted to talk to you about, and kind of leads to the last part of this broadcast, is a conversation that I had with the manager of the Extended Stay America, where I'm at for a couple of months while I'm working on this assignment. And I overheard him talking to his staff the other day. I was out working in the front area, just change the location, and he was talking about the things they need to be doing to make sure their guests are satisfied. Keeping the rooms clean, the quality processes, all of that. When he dropped by the other day to drop off some fresh linens and towels, I got him in a conversation about, I heard you talking about this. How do you build trust in this kind of environment, in a hotel where people are only here for a day or two? And we talked about those standard things that you got to do. You got to make sure the rooms are clean, they're on a consistent basis, that when people come in, things are what they expect them to be. But the most important part of it, I thought was really cool. He talked about the thing he tells his staff is to be nice and be kind through everything. And I thought that was a really wise perspective that he shared with me, because it gets to that part of the trust model that I was talking about, which is the intention part of it. You can be good at what you do, develop a quality product, you can be honest and authentic in your communication, but if people don't feel that you absolutely have their best interest at heart, you're going to have a very difficult time establishing a level of emotional trust with them. And if you get a chance, go out and read the latest report from Edelman, the Edelman Trust Barometer, 2018. You see in the U.S., trust is just tanked across the board. And not a big surprise, I think we would all say. So those are some great conversations, and they all kind of wrap up to this article that I read that was about on Racked.com, and the title of the article was about how is sustainability really something that consumers want? I think if you go out and you look at all the surveys, people say, I'll pay more for a product that is sustainably developed or delivered. They talk about environmentalism, but at the end of the day, people will often, they'll just want to buy the cool thing and not necessarily want to pay more for it. And a lot of brands were talking about how they found that they haven't seen much of a return on efforts to focus on sustainability. And they used a couple of different examples, and I think there's a couple of lessons that came out of it for me. Number one is you have to be really careful about what people say on a survey and ultimately what they actually do. And if you've done research and you've been in the survey research business for a while, and then you actually transition into the more ethnographic style where you're in people's homes and a more qualitative approach in understanding them, you quickly do understand that the way people actually live their lives is often vastly different than what they would say in a focus group or what they would say on a survey. So that's one element, to always take survey results and think of them in terms of the true cultural systems in which people are living. But the second part of it, I think, gets to the way that we think of sustainability. I like to say, I think of sustainability with a capital S. Oftentimes, as brands, we think about sustainability and we think, are we sourcing from sustainable sources? Are we using renewable energy? Are we a zero waste facility? And those are all beautiful and wonderful things that we should be doing. But that is not sustainability. Sustainability with a capital S is that plus, have you developed a business model in such a way that you can employ people for a long period of time and pay them a living wage and give them good benefits? Are you improving life in some way, and not just human life, but animal life as well? Because that contributes to a more sustainable business model. Are you positively impacting the communities where your brand exists? Because again, this all leads to, if we think about sustainability and that something's going to exist for a long period of time, those are all things that matter. And so when we start thinking about sustainability, that's the way we have to start thinking about it. And then not think of it as a campaign or think of it as just something we talk about or message, but it's something we actually do. And this gets to the whole area of intention in the trust model. Because my oldest daughter one time came home from school and she told me something really interesting, and they were talking about responsibility at school, and she said, yeah, they said responsibility is doing the right thing even when nobody's watching. And I think that is a great perspective to bring about sustainability and your sustainable and practices going on in your organization that you should be doing no matter what, even if you never even talk about them. And that's the key, is people are shifting, and particularly millennials, although sorry to use that broad term, I always hate it, but that younger generations are actually looking at what you are doing, not what you are saying. And so one of the brands, H&M, had described a big campaign they had been doing around sustainability, and the essence of the article was they weren't really happy with it or feel like they were seeing great results from it. And I think that's the problem, is that if you think of it as a campaign, you're not going to build trust with that. People ignore campaigns anymore. There's very few campaigns that I think cut through the clutter and really resonate with people anymore. I know there's exceptions to that rule, but for the most part, a lot of noise. Anyway, those are my thoughts this week. Sorry it was a little long because I had a lot to say, but fake not, you'll start seeing these on a more regular basis. We appreciate everyone's support, and we're looking forward to being able to talk and communicate with all of you a lot more. Talk to you soon.